Let's take a look at how to graph. We call this vertex form. And the cool thing is that I have something to the square. It looks like I have a perfect square. That gives me that a parabola shape, a U square shape. From here, we're going to say that the vertex is going to be positive 2, positive 3. Now, the x value, I get it from inside of the parentheses. I see a minus 2 inside of the parentheses, and I get the opposite of that. So plus 2. If I had seen plus 2, then negative 2. That gives me my x value. My y value is out here. The 2 at the very beginning, we're not going to use it for the vertex. So that gives me a point on my graph. That gives me the point 2, 3. Now let me find two other points. One of the values I'm going to choose is 1 for x. And another point I'm going to use is 3 for x. Since my vertex with the x value was 2, I chose one number less than that and one number more than that. So that's why I chose 1 and 3. Now I'm going to use the equation. And I'm going to find a corresponding y value. To begin with, I think, okay, if x equals 1, I'm looking at that as 2 times negative 1 squared plus 3. Remember the parentheses, I have x minus 2, but I said x equals 1. So that gave me 2 times negative 1 squared plus 3. Have to do the square first, negative 1 squared. So I have 2 times 1 plus 3. Now 2 times 1 plus 3, that's 5. So I get the y value there. Now let's take a look at what if x equals 3. I'm going to go to the parentheses x minus 2, I get 1 squared plus 3. The exponent, 1 squared, is basically 1, so I have 2 times 1 plus 3. 2 times 1 plus 3 is 5. Because I chose a number to the top and more than and less than at my vertex and the same distance, my y in this case happens to repeat. So one of my points is 1, 5. The other point is 3, 5. I'm going to be grading 3 points on the graph. I have enough. I think I have enough for a picture that looks like that. Now let's take a look at question number 6. My vertex is going to be the point negative 1, 2. That's where I get my x and my y value. Negative 1, 2 is there. Now, points I'm going to choose are negative 2 for x, and I'm also going to use 0. I went 1 less and 1 more than my vertex. So if x equals negative 2, I'm looking at a question as negative 1 squared plus 2. Remember I said x equals negative 2, so negative 2 plus 1, that's where I get the negative 1. Negative 1 squared, that's basically 1 plus 2. I'm going to say my y value is 3. Now, if x equals 0, I'm going to say my y value is also 3. This is going to happen each time I have to the square. So I have our 2 points here, negative 2, 3, 0, 3. Have a very good idea of the graph.